Greetings everyone, welcome to Just Advance, and this is game 6 of Duda versus Gukesh that's being held in Poland. And here Gukesh is in a very tough spot. He has already lost roughly 4 games to Duda in a row, and that's really not a good thing to have. He was supposed to in the last game have a chance, or at least to equalize the score in this game, but he unfortunately, due to low time on the clock, he got checkmated. But now here he has a chance to maybe just try and beat him with the black pieces and to show some magic. But with Duda being with the white pieces, it's going to be very much difficult. But let's see what they have in store for us. So without further ado, let's start with this game. And here we have knight to f3 by Duda, d5, g3, and just c5, going for bishop to g2, just going for the king's Indian attack, Sicilian variation. And most likely we're going to see this c5 come in here as well, and c4 come in here as well. We have knight to f6, castles in g6, and here just a very nice c4, bishop to g7, c captures, knight captures, and here just going for the immediate central thrust with d4, castles. But here just e4, just pushing the knight back, knight to f6, and just e5, just over advancing the pawns. And here we have just knight to d5, and here in this position just d captures was played, knight to c6. So all of these pawns are very much weak, so they're going to be captured sooner than later. We have a3, and now just bishop to g4. Now this is also an idea. Here just h3, just pushing the bishop back, bishop caps on f3, queen captures, and here we just have this e6, and just finally going for this rook to a2, just trying to get out of this, that ugly space. And here we have this a5, but now just this knight to c3. And here we have knight captures on e5, attacking the queen, queen to e2, and knight caps on c3, just trading more pieces. And here we have a very nice b caps on c3, and we have queen to c7 by Gukesh. And here Duda goes for rook to b2. Now he's going to target that pawn, and it's going to be very much difficult to here to defend or to do anything. Knight to c6 was played, but now just bishop to f4, attacking the queen. And here a very nice e5, just shutting off that bishop. We have bishop to e3, but now here in this position you have to be very much careful. Do you just go for the rook there, and maybe just face all the attack with this bishop coming here, or do you in this position try to be a little bit active so that your opponent doesn't actually just overtake and completely win this position for you? Because if you want to attack, you have to play this f5 in this position. And here after rook f to b1, you play rook to a7, and here after queen to c4 with the check, now king moves a4. But now after e3, just shutting this bishop off. Now here you just get this rook to b6, and here after this bishop to e5, and just h4, you'll play this queen to e7, and here after just bishop to h6, just attacking the rook, bishop moves back, bishop captures, king captures. And here in this position after rook to d1, now you play this rook to a8, queen to b3, and rook a to d8. After rook to b1, everything would fall apart. You cannot capture here currently, because obviously there is some pressure, and also there is some folks as well in the position. So first you want to make your position absolutely perfect, then capture the pawn. And white would be better here, but not that much. But that was the best that Gukesh had in this position. But here after bishop to e3, just rook f to d8 was played by Gukesh, and it gives white a bit too much, because here rook f to b1, and now how are you ever stopping that? And here also, this is also an idea if you just put the rook behind, and here rook a to b8, and that is just absolutely not. This was much better, because here whenever the bishop capture comes, you're gonna have to capture with the pawn, or if you capture with the queen, that leads to all sorts of tactics. Here queen to c4 was played. Now you cannot even push f5 to have some counterplay, bishop to f8. But now he just comes rook to b6, rook d to c8, and now Gukesh is just absolutely crammed in with all these pieces. He's gonna have to defend the entire game, and it's gonna be very difficult game than you want to have when you want to have at least just one victory. And here we have bishop to d5, just putting more pressure against that pawn, but just knight to d8. And here, there's just so much pressure against that pawn, and even on this, it's just not a good position to have with the black pieces. We have rook 1 to b5, and here just after queen to d7, here just immediately going for h4, but now just rook to c7, and here we have h5, just pushing the pawn all the way. And because of all these pieces just being crammed in, and have to defend that pawn, you cannot even move anything. You don't have any counterplay in this position, and what are you going to do? I have no idea. Here king to g7 was played, but here is queen to e4, and now comes this f6. But this f6 just does not help, because here just h6, check, king moves, and now comes rook captures on f6. And now what are you doing with this position? You cannot even go here. What are you absolutely doing here? Just knight to c6 was played, and we have bishop caps on c6. Here just rook captures, but now unfortunately this is an absolute blunder, because here just this rook caps on c6 was played, and it was on this move, on just move 32, that Gukesh Tomaraju current reigning world champion, resigned the game, and Duda won this tournament, or won this exhibition for that matter, with in a blitz game 5-1 against Gukesh. That's absolutely not a score you want to have, but it happens sometimes, and specifically in blitz, where Gukesh does not have that much good of a rating. So definitely there's some room for improvement, and as we saw in the rapid and blitz that we had, and Gukesh played absolutely fantastically, crushed everyone from Magnus to Hikaru. He crushed everyone in the rapid section, but in the blitz section he fell a little bit short. So there's something to work on, and I think he should take that with pride, with a learning experience, and definitely in the coming 11 to 15th August tournament he's gonna be absolutely crushing everyone. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with games like these. Subscribe to the channel, stay tuned to the channel, and the past 6 games I've shown, Gukesh versus Duda, so you can check them out as well. And again, I'll see you guys very, very soon. Thank you all for watching.